Welcome back to Scientia Academiae. In today's video, we will continue by reviewing the next set of questions. Let's get started and break down each question to help you understand the key concepts and improve your exam skills. We will cover O-Level Biology 5090 Paper 1 questions from the May-June 2016 session. The first question is, how is malaria usually transmitted from human to human? Let's look at the options. A. By a bacterium. B. By a mosquito. C. By a pathogen. D. By contaminated water. The correct answer is B. By a mosquito. Here's how it works. Malaria is caused by a parasite from the Plasmodium genus. These parasites are transmitted through the bite of an infected Anopheles mosquito. When an Anopheles mosquito bites someone who has malaria, it ingests the parasites from their blood. Then, when the mosquito bites another person, it transfers these parasites into their bloodstream. This process is crucial for the spread of malaria, making mosquitoes the primary vectors of this disease. So, whenever you hear about malaria transmission, remember it's all about those pesky mosquitoes. Let's dive into the second question of today's video. Ready? Here we go. How is malaria normally transmitted from person to person? Is it A. Airborne droplets. B. Contaminated needles. C. Infected mosquitoes, or D. Sexual intercourse? If you chose C. Infected mosquitoes, you're absolutely correct. Malaria is primarily spread through the bites of infected mosquitoes, specifically those of the Anopheles genus. When these mosquitoes bite a person, they transmit the Plasmodium parasites that cause malaria. It's not spread through airborne droplets, contaminated needles, or sexual intercourse. Understanding this helps us better focus our efforts on preventing and controlling malaria, which is crucial in regions where the disease is prevalent. In the next question, we're exploring the impact of deforestation on nitrate levels after a rainstorm. The question is, after a rainstorm, what happens to the nitrate ion content at points X and Y, given that trees are cut down in the shaded area? Here are your options. A. Increases at X, increases at Y. B. Increases at X, decreases at Y. C. Decreases at X, increases at Y. D. Decreases at X, decreases at Y. The correct answer is C. Decreases at X, increases at Y. Let's break it down. First, point X is in the area where trees were cut down. After the trees are removed, nitrate levels in this area might initially decrease due to the leaching effect, where runoff washes away the nitrates from the soil. As the water flows downstream to point Y, it collects runoff from the deforested area. This runoff often has higher nitrate concentrations, leading to an increase in nitrate levels at Y. So, after a rainstorm, nitrate content decreases at X and increases at Y. In the next question, we are looking into an interesting question about greenhouse gases. Ready to test your knowledge? Let's get started. The question is, which greenhouse gas is released from factory chimneys and by herbivores? Is it A. Carbon dioxide. B. Nitrogen. C. Nitrogen dioxide. D. Sulfur dioxide. The correct answer is A. Carbon dioxide. Here's why. Carbon dioxide, or CO2, is a significant greenhouse gas released from factory chimneys primarily due to the burning of fossil fuels. This process generates CO2 as a byproduct. But that's not all. Herbivores, like cows and sheep, also contribute to carbon dioxide emissions through their digestive processes. They release CO2 during digestion, alongside another greenhouse gas, methane. Now, let's clear up the other options. B. Nitrogen is not a greenhouse gas. C. Nitrogen dioxide is indeed a gas, but it's more associated with air pollution and not a major greenhouse gas. D. Sulfur dioxide is primarily linked to air pollution and acid rain rather than greenhouse effects. The next question is, which statement in the table describes self-pollination? Let's look at the options. Option A. Transfer of pollen from anther to stigma, and 2 plants are required. Option B, transfer of pollen from anther to stigma, but 2 plants are not required. Option C, transfer of pollen from stigma to anther, and 2 plants are required. Option D, transfer of pollen from stigma to anther, but 2 plants are not required. The correct answer is option B. Let's break it down. Self-pollination occurs when pollen is transferred from the anther, the male part of the flower, to the stigma, the female part of the flower, within the same plant. In option B, the statement says that the pollen is transferred from the anther to the stigma, and importantly, it mentions that 2 plants are not required. This is a key characteristic of self-pollination, as the process happens within a single plant. In contrast, options like A and C mention that 2 plants are required, which actually describes cross-pollination, where pollen is transferred between different plants. Option D, though a bit unusual, also doesn't involve 2 plants but mentions the transfer of pollen from the stigma to the anther, which isn't a typical description of self-pollination. So, to summarize, self-pollination occurs when one plant can fertilize itself, and in our table, option B perfectly describes that process. In the next question, which process in a developing seedling requires light energy? Here are the options. A. Breakdown of food reserves. B. Respiration. C. Synthesis of organic material. D. Uptake of salts and water. The correct answer is C. Synthesis of organic material. Let's break it down. The process referred to here is photosynthesis. This is when the seedling uses light energy to create organic compounds, like glucose, from carbon dioxide and water. Photosynthesis is essential for the seedling's growth and development as it produces the energy it needs to thrive. On the other hand, processes like the breakdown of food reserves, respiration, and the uptake of salts and water don't directly rely on light energy. They are vital for growth but aren't powered by light in the same way photosynthesis is. So, light plays a crucial role in helping the plant synthesize its own food. The next question asks which type of cell division occurs when a diploid cell produces cells with a haploid number of chromosomes. Is it A. Meiosis for asexual reproduction. B. Meiosis for sexual reproduction. C. Mitosis for asexual reproduction. D. Mitosis for sexual reproduction. The correct answer is B. Meiosis for sexual reproduction. Let me explain why. Meiosis is a type of cell division that reduces the chromosome number by half, transforming a diploid cell with 2 sets of chromosomes into haploid cells with only 1 set. These haploid cells are crucial for sexual reproduction because they form gametes like sperm and egg cells which combine during fertilization to restore the diploid chromosome number in the offspring. Mitosis, on the other hand, is for growth, repair, or asexual reproduction, and doesn't change the chromosome number. So, to sum it up, meiosis is key when cells need to produce haploid gametes for sexual reproduction. The next question is about plant propagation. The question is, when new plants grow from pieces of a plant that have become detached and rooted in soil, which statement is correct about these new plants when they mature? A. The fruit they produce will all ripen at the same time. B. They will all grow to the same size. C. They will all have the same color flowers. D. They will all produce the same number of fruit. The correct answer is C. They will all have the same color flowers. Why is this the case? When plants are grown from cuttings or other parts of the parent plant, they are genetic clones. This means they have the same genetic information as the original plant. Because flower color is determined by specific genes, all the new plants will produce flowers of the same color as the parent plant. In contrast, factors like fruit ripening times, plant size, and the number of fruits can be influenced by environmental conditions and other variables, even among genetically identical plants. So, that's why the new plants will have identical flower colors. The next question is about human biology and it states where does the placenta allow the exchange of materials between the mother and fetus? Here are your options. A. Oviduct wall. B. Umbilical cord. C. Uterus wall. D. vagina wall. The answer is C, uterus wall. This is because the placenta is a crucial organ that attaches to the wall of the uterus. This is where the exchange of essential materials like nutrients, gases, and waste takes place. The placenta's placement in the uterus wall allows maternal blood to flow around the placenta's villi, which are in direct contact with fetal blood vessels. This setup ensures that the fetus gets the nutrients and oxygen it needs while waste products are removed efficiently. The oviduct wall, option A, is where fertilization typically occurs, but it's not involved in the nutrient exchange during pregnancy. The umbilical cord, option B, connects the fetus to the placenta but does not directly handle the exchange process. The vagina wall, option D, is important during childbirth but not for the exchange between mother and fetus. So, the placenta's attachment to the uterus wall is what makes it possible for the exchange of materials between the mother and the fetus. Pretty amazing, right? Thank you for watching. I hope you found this video helpful. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more educational content. If you have any questions or need further assistance, feel free to leave a comment below.